Why don't we talk about Palestine? Why don't we talk? Why don't we talk about the genocide in Gaza? Why don't we talk about the illegal bombardment of Lebanon? Why don't we talk about mass starvation? Why don't we talk about the ethnic cleansing on a scale not seen since the Second World War? Why do you have to talk about it in relation to Ukraine? I'll tell you why. You came here with a cheap agenda to attack Russia. But here's a point
Sky
that
News is covering all of those topics in those locations.
Here's a point.
I am the Moscow correspondent. That's why I'm covering Russia and Ukraine. And my question to you is, do you call for an end to the violence in Ukraine?
Of course.
Yes or no? Right.
Of course.
So you don't
just like the BRICS did. Just like the BRICS
so you
did.
Don't support
I've told you that I have spoken on Ukraine. If you were a journalist of any note coming to interview me, you'd already know my views, extensively revealed over 2 years and millions of words. You asked me about the Middle East. In the Middle East, there is a Holocaust going on. Even your audience considered it as such. Yet you want to condemn the call by the BRICS yesterday for seeking an end to that Holocaust? You twisted it in your very Sky News way into an attack on Russia in Ukraine. Why can't you compartmentalize in your mind for a moment that a Holocaust that is condemned by all right-thinking people was condemned by the BRICS here yesterday?
There's no condemnation of Ukraine.
Actually, there was a call by the BRICS for negotiated ending to the Ukraine war.
In the 43-page communique.
Well, it was mentioned once, but it was mentioned. It's a significant
One more
statement.
question, if I may.
Are you sure?
The US says North Korean troops are in Russia receiving training, and the fear is they'll be deployed to Ukraine to join Russian forces there on the battlefield.
I would have thought that was a fairy story. First of all, I'm not sure the North Korean forces need trained by anybody. North Korea has one of the most fearsome armies on the planet. And I think Russia has no need of North Korean troops. I think it's another cheap tabloid smear.
If it were to happen, if they were to be deployed there?
If my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Let's leave it there. George Galloway, thank you very much.
What is amazing is that this tyranny called Russia has you wandering around the corridor smearing Russia. That is quite something. You wouldn't get a Russian journalist walking around in Whitehall. That wouldn't be allowed, would it?
That's the point, isn't it? Let's look for a Russian journalist in Whitehall. Press freedom in Britain.